Tonight, we delve into the shadowy origins of an entity whose name echoes through millennia of fear and spiritual struggle: the Pishacha. From ancient Sanskrit texts to modern horror films, this creature embodies a profound, insidious terror. What fascinates me most about entities like the Pishacha isn't just their abilities, but their supernatural bloodlines, how their story twists and transforms through human history. The Pishacha's journey from a potentially tribal designation to a terrifying spiritual predator is one of the most remarkable transformations I've ever charted. Our earliest encounters with the Pishacha are etched into the very foundations of Indian mythology. They appear in the Rig Veda, then gain prominence in epic narratives like the Mahabharata and various Puranas. Brahma, the creator god, is sometimes credited with their genesis, born from his anger or his shadow. They're often depicted as dark-skinned, with bulging veins and fiery red eyes, inhabiting liminal spaces, particularly cremation grounds, feeding on the decaying and the forgotten. In these ancient texts, Pishachas weren't always purely malevolent. They sometimes served deities like Kubera or Shiva, even fought alongside heroes in epic battles. They were spectral beings, yes, but their early roles suggest a more complex, perhaps even neutral presence in the cosmic order. It's a testament to ancestral wisdom that these foundational stories codified not just fear, but also a nuanced understanding of unseen forces. But the Pishacha's story doesn't stay confined to the Indian subcontinent. It's a fascinating narrative of cultural migration and adaptation. Consider the linguistic threads. In ancient Kashmir, the Dardic people were sometimes referred to as Pishacha, and their languages as Pishachi. This suggests an intriguing historical evolution, perhaps a demonized perception of an other that later merged with existing spiritual beliefs, solidifying the Pishacha as a distinct supernatural entity. And then, we see its clear footprint across Southeast Asia. The Thai term pisat, meaning ghost or demon, is a direct linguistic descendant of the Sanskrit Pishacha. You can find depictions of pisat in Buddhist temple paintings, a clear indication of how these ancient Indian concepts traveled and rooted themselves in new cultural soil. In Buddhist mythology, Pishachas retain their dark complexion, red eyes, and association with disease, sometimes even with femininity, demonstrating how core characteristics persist even as cultural interpretations adapt. My third eye can feel these energetic echoes across continents, a consistent vibration of unseen hunger that transcends borders. It's a universal human experience to grapple with unseen threats, and the Pishacha became a chilling template for that fear. Over centuries, the Pishacha underwent a significant historical transformation. While earlier texts might have hinted at a warrior clan, by the time of Panini's grammar, the term had already begun its shift towards a purely malevolent spirit. This transformation intensified with the rise of tantric traditions. No longer just a background player, the Pishacha became a direct adversary, a target for intense spiritual practices. Tantric sadhanas, particularly the perilous Shmashana sadhana performed in cremation grounds, were developed not just to repel, but to confront, understand, and even harness the Pishacha's power. This was a major shift, from simply acknowledging its existence to actively engaging with it, albeit with tremendous risk. The focus sharpened on its insidious abilities: complete shapeshifting, total possession, psychological attacks that drive victims to madness, and energy vampirism. These weren't just physical threats, they were assaults on the very essence of self, on sanity, on spiritual integrity. It shows an evolving understanding of how malevolent entities could corrupt not just the body, but the mind and soul. My custom EMF detector might not register a Pishacha's true form, but it often picks up localized energy fluctuations, sharp temperature drops, or a distinct energetic residue consistent with ancient descriptions of prana draining. A subtle signature that has remained constant for millennia. In our contemporary world, the Pishacha continues its evolution, adapting to modern fears. We see it in horror films like the Thai Pisaj, the Indian Pisasu, and Pishachini, and the recent Indian-American film, It Lives Inside. Here, the Pishacha isn't just a monster. It becomes a potent metaphor. For Indian American teens, it represents the struggle with dual cultural identities, the pressure to assimilate versus the desire to preserve heritage. Its terrifying nature becomes a stand-in for the anxieties of modern life, identity crises, the fear of losing oneself, the unseen pressures that gnaw at our mental well-being. The ancient descriptions of possession, for instance, find eerie parallels in modern psychological concepts like dissociative identity disorder or its psychological attacks mirroring the subtle manipulation of gaslighting. These entities endure across millennia because they reflect our deepest, most primal fears, simply changing their masks to fit the era. My audio recorder, tuned to frequencies beyond human hearing, has on occasion caught whispers in what I can only assume is Pishachi, a language of ancient distress, still resonating in our modern world. The Pishacha's enduring significance across human cultures is a powerful testament to our universal struggle with the unseen, the corrupting, and the loss of self. Its evolution from a tribal name to a cosmic entity, then to a cultural metaphor, teaches us not just about the supernatural, but about ourselves, our fears, our resilience, and our capacity to codify complex spiritual truths. The ancient wisdom, preserved in mantras, yantras, and rituals, isn't just folklore. It's a living legacy of protection, a guide to understanding the subtle energies that continue to shape our world. And in that understanding, there is power. That's all for today's investigation into the shadows. If you want to dive deeper into the dark archives, make sure to subscribe to the HistoT YouTube channel. Remember, knowledge is our best defense against the darkness, and I'll see you in the next archive. Stay vigilant.